there guys, what is up? It is Mag Studios back at it again with another video. Now today we are doing another segment of STM Film Review of Project 422 Films' NOMAD. Now I want to thank Project for letting me do this review, and yeah, so let's get started. Alright, so just like the last video, yet again, these are my own opinions, and this is my own personal critique. Don't take any of this to heart. You guys could agree with me, you guys could disagree with me. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it is my own personal opinion, and everybody's entitled to their own opinions. And if any of you guys think otherwise, comment down below, or make your own fucking review. Now, before we begin, I'm going to be yet again rating this film based off of three major key points. First one is the story. The second one is the stop motion animation and how fluent and clean it is. And the audio and voice acting. I put this as the third because I do feel like, although voice acting in the last video had its own spot, I sort of put it with the audio. Spoilers ahead, yet again, you've been warned, so it's your fault. Okay, so to give this film a little bit of backstory, I do believe it is tied into the MCU. It's supposed to be taking place during the events of in between Civil War and Infinity War, where, Captain America is not on the best terms with Tony Stark. And he's sort of on the run, and Black Widow's with him, as well as Falcon in this film. Now, yet again, this is post-Infinity War, so he is still dressed up like NOMAD, and that's why the film is called NOMAD. Now, straight off the bat, I do gotta say this. The set is very nice. It's using a lot of dollhouse props, for the bed sets, the dressers. Everything looks really nice, and I am assuming that this all takes place in a hotel, or like a hotel room. But we never got a confirmation of that in the film, which I definitely would have liked. Just even something at the beginning of the film to sort of set the just make it certain that we know exactly where these characters are, even if it's just like a little word text at the beginning, name of the hotel room, 2 a.m. But that's just something a little minor, but I definitely would have appreciated that. But yeah, I mean, I could definitely tell that they're inside of a hotel or a motel, a rather nice one that they do talk about, to each other. And that's another thing that I really, really liked about this film, that the dialogue was beautifully written. All the characters, they do stay true to each other and their interactions with each other. Everybody played the roles great. Definitely 2 thumbs up for voice acting, most definitely. Now, one little thing that kind of I was confused about, maybe you guys could clarify this for me in the comments down below. But if this takes place during the MCU timeline, it kind of appeared that, especially in this scene right here, that Steve is having sort of, Vietnam flashbacks about Tony and what happened, which I like it because it definitely adds more in terms of Steve's emotions and what he's going through. But at the same time, I feel like his emotions towards Tony in this film are more, that he's holding a grudge, or that not even holding a grudge, but he threw like the magazine in anger. And in that scene, I feel like that he was sort of holding a grudge towards Tony, or that he was just, really angry with him. Meanwhile, at the end of Civil War, he sent a letter to Tony saying, that if he ever needs help, he's there, that he still pretty much sees him as an ally and as a friend, no matter what. So, I don't know, I was kind of confused on that part a little bit. And one more little thing, well, not really little, it kind of bugged me how there was like no build up to the start of the action in this. I was, it would have been cool to at least see the mercenaries sort of have like sort of a build up to the scene, you know? Like have the camera pan to them for a segment, that they're on their radio comms like we got eyes on Captain America, we're breaching, rather than Steve waking up. And it didn't even appear that it was the mercenaries that woke Steve up. It appeared that it was the nightmare that he was having about the events in Civil War. So he literally woke up, and then the mercenaries pretty much just appeared right then and there. It was like the quickest transition ever. And I felt like that there definitely could have been more build up to that scene to make it more suspenseful and make the action more impactful. Now, what I will say is I loved the dream sequence a lot. The effects that were put into it. Uh, Also, great work, Stealthbot. Most definitely, I know that you helped project out a lot in this film, and definitely thumbs up to you because story wise, like it's really good and it's really well written. Even with its couple of little minor problems, it was still very well written. The dialogue was on point. The emotions that Steve was going through, you could definitely tell what specific emotions he was actually feeling. And that nightmare scene, man, it was really good. I really really liked that, and I appreciated it cuz with stop motion films, people don't really go into the mind of the main character as much, like really exploring his or her emotions, and like an actual film would, so I really appreciated that, especially in this film. I thought that was very very good. Now, the animation, I thought it was okay. uh Definitely, I would suggest getting, flight stands or some sort of stands to support the figures up so that you don't have to worry about it the whole time while, animating with figures falling over. Getting stands for your figures is most definitely like a game changer in terms of animating. In my opinion, anyways, like my animations improved a lot once I started using stands, because that's one less thing to worry about when you're actually there filming for hours and on end. Like it gives you time to focus on the choreography and the cinematography, which there was some good, really good cinematography in this film, I do gotta say. But yet again, I would definitely recommend using flight stands, to support the figures up, so that's one less thing to worry about. Now, also, some of it, it's tough. It's definitely tough, without using any stands, anyways, to make sure that the animation is as fluent as it could be. Now, some of it was smooth. Some of it was smooth. Some of it was nice. But then there were also other parts where it wasn't as nice, and, there was some frame gappage in between where the animation didn't look as crisp. Now, this is all just time, you really got to take time when it comes to stop motion animation, you know, hours on end, just grinding. And it'll be for like 5 seconds of footage too. But as long as that 5 seconds of footage is fluent and clean and looks good and has really good cinematography, that's going to catch the viewer, and the viewer is going to really notice that. And it's just all time. Just take your time. I can't stress this enough. If you're like new to animating, my one thing, take your time. Don't rush anything. Especially when you're first starting out. I know like once you start filming, you just want to bust through it so then you could finally see the final product. But I can't stress this enough. Take your time. Take your time with each frame. Make sure that it's as smooth as it could be, because there were some frames, that were really fluent in this film, and I appreciate that. And then there also were scenes where it wasn't as smooth. So, and I feel like this happens to everybody, especially starting out, you know? I mean, you've been at this for a while, but, to somebody that's just starting out, definitely take your time, 100%. Now, the audio, like the music, it was very fitting for this film. I really like the decisions that you did make with the audio, with the dream sequences. It added a lot of suspense. And that flashback scene, well, not really flashback, it was sort of like him hallucinating the thug's head or his face as Tony Stark, which, yet again, it does add that, stop PTSD flashback, type scene, which I can really appreciate. And I really like the sound because audio, this is another thing. Audio could literally make or break a scene. Like, you could have a whole scene, like, mad fluent animation, dope ass fighting, but at the same time, if your audio ain't right and, your punch effects, the music behind it to add that much more suspense, the background noise happen, you know what I'm saying? Like, the audio matters. In my opinion, it's like it's half the battle in terms of creating fluent animation and really good films. The audio is everything. And with this film, I do feel like that the audio was spot on. I feel like the dialogue was spot on. It was true to all the characters. When the moments needed to be suspenseful, it definitely delivered on it. And I feel like the writing was definitely on point as well. Okay, so that was my overall review slash critique of this film. It's not a very long film. I believe it's around 4 or 5 minutes long, but it definitely is impactful in terms of, the story that you're trying to get across. And out of a 1 in 10 rating system, I would have to give this film a 7 out of 10. Now, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 because the story was on point, the dialogue was on point. Uh, well, there were a couple of issues with the story that kind of bugged me, but overall it was good, solid. Yet again, the dialogue between the characters was great. The animation definitely could have improved. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, I love this reenactment of the Infinity War scene where Nomad first appears. I thought that was really, really nice, really well edited. But yeah, the animation definitely could improve. I would obviously recommend flight stands, just to make sure that the figures are more secure so you could focus more on the fluent animation and to take your time. The the set was definitely on point. It looked like a hotel room. Very good job. And yeah, just overall, it was a good film. It was a good, nice, short 4 or 5 minute film. It was very reminiscent to the MCU. And I really appreciated that, especially in this film, because it did stay true to the source material for the most part. That little, I don't know, maybe somebody clarify this for me in the comments, project, if you can. I just don't know if Cap, it comes off as if Cap was still holding a little grudge or if he was still angry because of the way how he threw the magazine with Tony on it. So, and I do feel like that's not how Cap felt about Tony at the end of Civil War. So, yeah, I just need a little bit of clarification on that. But, yeah, overall, it did, for the most part, stay true to the MCU. And, yeah, just great job to you and Stealthbot, because I know Stealthbot helped a lot in this film. So, yeah, good job, guys. I definitely enjoyed this one. Alright, yo, so comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And recommend another stop motion film for me to review. I'll take anything, just recommend it, put it in the comments. I'll respond back. I respond to all comments, so feel free. And yeah. Alright, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.